Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the coaching hour call. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat box, and we are all set to begin an amazing and wonderful session here in the coaching hour today. Bring your comments in the chat box. Awesome. I can say good evening. Yes, yes, that is perfect. And in the meanwhile, do let me know from which part of the world you are joining us today. Let us know from where in the world you're joining us today. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe us. If you are with us here in Zoom, welcome. And just let us know from where you are, which part of the world you live. All right, perfect. So there are some people from India, Mauritius. Perfect. What about others? Use the comment box. This is our place to interact with each other. All right. Kevin is here from US. Doreen is here from Mauritius. And Chintan is here from India. Wonderful. Lovely. Now, before we begin our today's session, I want to ask you a question. How many of you really feel uncomfortable, or you feel really, bogged down, and you feel very, very difficult when it is a matter of asking someone about something? It may be something that you want in the business or something like that. How many of you have faced difficulties when you reach a point where you have to ask someone for help? Let me know in the chat box. If you have to ask somebody for help, do you feel uncomfortable with that? All right, so Prema is very honest. She said me. That means she faces that difficulty. What about others? Yes, yes, often. Chintan also said that. Harish also said that. Now, if this is your problem, today's lesson is going to be one of the best lesson you can ever take. Now, Sheena is here. She said sometime depends who I have to ask. That's good. But we will understand, why we feel that and how we can actually overcome it. Somebody said depends whom I ask. And this is where we have to understand that, even if it is depending who you are asking, that still has a lot to do with the mindset and the paradigm and the conditioning we are having. And we're going to talk a lot about it today. And the topic is just simply the power of asking. And this is something I believe is a very, very simplest success principle, but very much misunderstood and very rarely used by majority of the people. There are very few people who actually understood the depth of this principle and have really, really applied it in their life to a very great extent. So we are going to just break it down today. We are going to see the steps involved, and then we are going to come to a conclusion that how we can actually become effective askers, how we can actually go and ask for something that we really want and that we really desire for our business or something like that. Now, let me ask you another question, and you gotta tell me in the chat box now. Why do you think people are afraid of asking? Go ahead in the chat box. If you're on YouTube, guys, write down in the comment section. Why do you think people are afraid of asking? As I know there are many who are, and some of you have already mentioned. It could be maybe you're stuck in a career, you want to help from somebody, you may have asked someone, but then there is a certain person you should go and ask them, but you're not asking them. All right, Sheena said, it gives our perceived power away, makes us feel dumb. Yes. Kevin said big ego. Thakur said thinking about resulting actions. Chintan said maybe people and I feel shy, uncomfortable. Pushkar said not afraid of asking. That is also being afraid, Pushkar. He or she won't reply. That's a fear. That's a fear in your mind. Yes, it is a fear. Chintan said dominant feeling. Exactly. There are many different reasons. We can go on and on, and list many such reasons. But the truth is there that people assume the factor that Pushkar mentioned here. We assume that the other person is going to say no. Absolutely. Somebody again here said that the fear of rejection. Absolutely. This is one of the top notch reasons why most people don't ask, because they have fears. The fear of hearing this small word no. We are afraid of it. And when we are afraid of it, what is happening is that we have already built an subconscious conviction about it. The conviction is already set up in our mind that before even we are asking, we are already expecting that the other person is going to say no. The other person is going to say no. And that expectation is so much locked up in our subconscious mind that it's actually recreates the same situation, the same circumstances over and over and over again into our life. And now to understand that more technically, I will draw a diagram here. Now I call it scale man. I learned the idea of mine from my mentor, Bob Proctor, who called it a stick man. And recently I was playing with that idea and I wanted to just, redraw something more interesting. So I draw that, and it is called as a scale mind that represents the same philosophy, but there is something very important in it if you got it. And it's about the mind. So I want you to pay very close attention to it right now, right here, because every single thing is dependent upon this one idea. So open your minds and let this idea to sink in. Now, if you are psychologists, scientists, and if you read books related to psychology, there is written that there are many parts to our mind. The conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the ultra conscious mind, many different names, super conscious. But if we want to understand the results, we have to understand the conscious and the subconscious mind and how they are working. And this subject of asking has a lot to do with your understanding of the mind, has a lot to do with how you utilize your power, whether for you or against you, that's a different matter. So let this triangle right there represent the conscious mind. And then let this reverse triangle right there represent the subconscious mind. Pretty common, all right? Now let this scale right there represents your body. This is something I have worked over the last few months, and I like this idea very much. Now, what is happening? Understand, right now, you are a perfect expression of the infinite energy. And the energy out there in the universe is actually passing to and through you. It is centralized at you. It is passing to and through you. That pure energy is just. It's neither positive or not negative. The energy is just is. What is our problem? That why we get the same results over and over again? Why, when we are asking someone, why we get the no over and over again? Or why we don't ask in certain cases? Or why? The answer to all these questions lies there in your subconscious mind. And that is your paradigms right there. You have a subconscious conditioning. There is a paradigm in your subconscious mind. Now, to all of you who don't know what a paradigm is, it is a multitude of your habits. In other words, there are many ideas that are programmed in your subconscious mind that went to your subconscious mind with repetition. And those ideas are fixated in your subconscious mind, which actually control the vibration of your body, ultimately end up controlling the action, which ultimately control the results that you're getting. Now, what most people don't understand is that they will keep on telling you, I know, Sukhbir, I know I have to ask. But the problem is that the part of your mind that dictates the doing is not the part that knows it. Conscious mind knows that you have to do it, but it's the subconscious mind that actually help you to do it based upon what is already conditioned there. And in most people cases, the idea of expecting a rejection, the idea of expecting a no, the fear of what they will think about me, the fear of feeling dumb is actually programmed right there in the subconscious mind. When this idea is programmed right there in the subconscious mind, you have already an inbuilt expectation that that's the outcome I'm going to get. And when that expectation is running right there in your subconscious mind, results gives you a proof of it. And whenever people start changing it, they try it for a couple of times and they say, oh, that don't work. Exactly, it don't work because you have just given it a couple of times. Understand that the conditioning in your subconscious mind is not a weak conditioning. It has been built over the years of immersion of ideas from other people, from environment, from genetics. All those ideas are bang right there in the subconscious mind, and you got to take them out. You got to take them out if you really want to become a better question askers, if you want to become a better, let's say, asker in your life. Now, somebody said here, larger the tree of procrastination grow, larger the roots getting deeper. Exactly, Chintan. That's what it is. Now, some people, like I meet people who are into their 50s and 60s, and they are controlled by such a stubborn paradigm. Now, let me share an example with you. You're going to relate so much with that. Like, in my family, since beginning from my ancestors, nobody has ever done a job. Like my grandparents, they had their business. Great grandparents, they run the business. My fathers, they have never done a job. They have their own factory. And when I went to do my first job, I had hard time. I cannot tell you how much difficult it was for me to be there. Why? Because the paradigm, the conditioning coming from a business family was right there in my mind, and I could not adjust with the culture of a job. That was my conditioning because I have never seen anybody going to a job in my family. And I have seen that for 20 something years, 22, 24 years. And the idea was getting into my mind over and over and over and over and over again. That kept me stuck for many years. And when I realized that, I knew that what I have to do. So the first step in changing the conditioning is becoming aware about the conditioning and then asking yourself some very, very specific questions. And I'm going to share that blueprint with you, a little bit of blueprint. But before we get into that blueprint, you have to understand something about asking, because it's not just merely going blinding and asking anybody about anything. There are certain rules that you have to remember. And there are 5 rules that you have to remember. Okay. And I want you to note it down if you want, although you can watch this broadcast since it is getting live broadcasted on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it anytime. So it's about how to ask for what you want. Okay. So it's about how to ask. And there are some specific 5 pointer rules, and I want you to just keep them in your mind. The first one is expect to get it. It's simple as it is. Expect to get it. That means in your subconscious mind, have an image that what I want is already given to me. You got to have expectation right there. Now, how to build that expectation? The question is not just that having that expectation. The question is how to build that expectation. Because I know many of you are going to say, Sukhbir, that's easy to say, hard to do. All right, I agree with you. But let me tell you what is more harder than that. Staying wherever you are right now and not making the move. Now, to expect it, you got to ask yourself a question that whatever I'm going to ask, it's already done. How that is making me feel. Think about it. All right, so before moving ahead, I want you to think about something that you really want in your life. Everybody, just sit back and relax for a few minutes, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what is something that I really want? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths. Just simply inhale and then exhale. Repeat it for a few times. Now, mentally ask yourself a question that my desire is fulfilled. Now, that desire can be living in your dream house, running your dream business, earning a certain amount of money, or having your ideal life partner. It could be anything. See yourself with that desire. Or it could be getting a deal signed with one of your favorite publisher, or it could be getting a contract from a big company, whatever that desire is. Or it could be just seeing your son and daughter getting successful, whatever that image is. Bring that on your screen right now. Now see that image very clearly. Look at your expressions when that image is fulfilled, when that image is actually reality. Look at that image. Look at that. I know you can see it. I have no doubt about it. I know you can feel it. I know you can see the emotions. You can feel the emotions. Stay there for a minute. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Just stay there for a minute. Wow. See how great it is to sign that contract? See how great it is to just sit in your new house balcony and having your tea, the morning tea, or if you're an evening person, your evening tea, or whatever you like. It could be just having an evening champagne party, whatever that image is. See that, feel that. Or maybe the dream car you wanted to drive. See yourself holding the steering. Wow. Boom. It is going at a speed. See that. And then also see that maybe the book you wanted to write is published. You're doing a book signing somewhere. Wow. Maybe you are on a trip with your life partner. See that. I mean, see that. Be there for a few minutes, whatever that image is. Be there. Just be there. Perfect. Now I will count from three to one, and on the count of one, you will open your eyes. Three, two, and one. Open your eyes and now describe your experience in the chat box. If you're on YouTube, guys, do the same thing. Let me know how you felt during these last few minutes. The chat box is waiting for you. Go ahead and just write it there in the chat box. What was you feeling during that time? Somebody said living that dream presently. Perfect. What about others, guys? Smiled, a smile and a fresh feeling, true reality, sense of accomplishment. Awesome. But what about others? I want to know from every single one of you. Happy customers, big smile, butterflies in the stomach. Awesome. That is really lovely, Prema. What about others? Now you see, what I was trying to tell you here is positive outlook of life. Wonderful, Sheena. Now, what I have just done here is that I have just demonstrated to you what I told you to do while in the first step, that is expect to get it. You have simply went into your inner world and you have just had an impression of the thing already accomplished. Kevin said, enjoying the view from our deck. Awesome. That's awesome, Kevin. Lovely. So you see what happened here? You actually have applied the principle where you see everything that you want, and it was so real. You know why? Because when you was in that state, it was your subconscious mind. I was giving you suggestions, but your subconscious mind was bringing those images. And subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. And when it is about asking, you gotta have the same question on your mind, that now the person has already given me what I want, how I am feeling. Once you go ahead with that, you know, assumption, you will see how it will make a big difference. And then again, the second step in this process is that you gotta assume you can. Assuming you can is far better than assuming that you cannot. Why? Assuming you cannot already vanishes your chances. I mean, if you assume you cannot, boom, gone, nothing there. What if you assume you can? What if you just assume that, yes, I can do it? Yes, assume that. Whatever it is, assumption is the law. Neville Goddard wrote about it in the book, The Power of Awareness. And in fact, this is what we have been teaching in our Success Mindset Academy literally. So assume. And then comes the third point. Now, this is very, 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 very important. Ask to someone who can give it to you what you want. Now, I'm going to give you some very great examples for it. Okay. Ask to someone who can give it. Now, what does that mean? I see many people who wanted to do their business and they're asking for advice to those people who are into jobs. Now, they might be very intelligent individuals. They might be your great friends, but my dear friend, they're not the right ones to ask. For example, you're having stomach problem, engineer is not the right person to deal with that. Doctor is. And in fact, a specialized doctor who just deals with stomach problems. At the same way, if I have a problem in my office or in my home with respect to electricity, I won't call a doctor and ask a doctor, hey, can you come to my home and fix this electricity problem? Doctor cannot do that. It takes the specialized person for that. Don't ask your next door neighbor whether you should do that or not. Ask the experts. Now, this is the lesson I learned the hard way in my life. I learned from Bob all the time that listen to expert and do exactly what they tell you. I'm going to share a little story with you. And I remember it was like 3 years ago or something like that. And I wanted to go, like I was applying for a visa and I didn't ask anybody how to do it. I was just trying to do my own mind. I went to internet, I see what to do and how to apply, and I did that. And guess what? Visa got rejected. Why? I didn't ask for expert advice. And then next time I made a commitment. It doesn't matter whatever happened. I'm only going to seek advice from the expert. And I have never reversed that commitment. And guess what? My life is so easy when I'm asking an expert. I know I just have to do exactly what he's telling me. And then after that, I have applied for many, couple more visas and they never got rejected. I always get them. Why? Because I just stick to the advice. Ask to someone who can give it to you. There is a difference between asking to an expert and asking to your next door neighbor. Your next door neighbor know nothing about your dreams and your goals. They can be very intelligent people. They can be so honest. But guess what? They're not the right person to ask. So you got to ask the right person. Very, very important. And then step number 4, very important, be specific. Now, I have seen many people are not specific when it is asking. And I must say, this is very, very vital. And in fact, Napoleon Hill, when he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, in the chapter on desire, he said, decide exactly the amount of money you want to earn. Be specific about it because there is a psychological reason behind it. And usually, whenever I'm coaching my clients and somebody said I have a financial goal, and I ask them, what is your financial goal? They usually tell me I want more money. I said, okay, I'll send you $5. Now you have more money. Is that okay? And then they laugh at me. They said, no, no, I want more. I said, how much more? You got to be specific about what you want. People always keep on saying, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. How much? People always keep on saying, I want, a raise. Like I want to raise my salary. How much raise you want? You see, people are always talking about what they want, but they're never specific. Never ever. So you got to be very specific about what do you want. If it's money, how much? It's never, enough to say that I want more. Even $1 is more. Even 1 kg is weight loss. But that's not what you want, right? I hope you get the point. So it is very, very important to be specific. The more specific you are, the better your energy will be. They say the more clarity I have in my mind, the more specific I will be. Let's say I want to rearrange my room and I don't know how I want to rearrange my room. What will happen? I will be just randomly moving one stuff from another, one place from another, one place from another. And I can keep on doing this for months and even for years, and still I will be nowhere. What if I know specifically I just want to shift the arrangement of my, my, let's say that my bookshelf and my desk or my bed. That's it. I have a specific direction to follow. So there has to be specific direction. Understand that your mind doesn't deal with the vague concepts. It understands the specificness. The more specific you are, the better are your chances. For example, if you want to raise in your salary, don't say to your employer or don't say to your boss, I want to raise. Tell him how much you want and don't feel attached with that. Just simply say, "There, boss, I want to raise of $500 or whatever it is," and then see if you expect, if you assume, you will get it. And don't say even to your friends or family or even to your wife, "Let's go somewhere and let's plan a tour." Tell them specifically that how would you feel if we plan something for the next week or Saturday or Sunday going to a dinner date outside. Specific. The more specific you are, the better you will attract. It's like the law of cause and effect. What you put out will come back. If you put out vague instructions, like unclear ideas, unclear results will come back. If you put out specific things outside, you will attract specific things back. It's like the cause and effect. This law never fails. Emerson said that it is the laws of the laws. So be very, very mindful about it. And then we reach the fifth step, which most people actually misses. And I'm going to give you a real life example for it, okay? And it's about ask repetitively. You got to do that. You have to ask repetitively. There are many salespeople who may ask a prospect to buy a product either once or twice, and then they will not ask them anymore. Why? They feel like that I'm putting pressure on that or whatever the reason. But let me tell you one thing. When you know that your product and service is going to help somebody, always keep sharing the benefits they will get from your product and service. Because if you don't do that, they will not get it. So maybe you ask that person on a different day. Maybe you ask that person in a different way. Maybe you ask them when you have already achieved more better results. Maybe you ask them when you're more confident. Maybe you ask them when you're in a better mood. Maybe you ask them in a very, out of the box way. But keep asking, keep asking. Do you remember when you was a little kid? Doesn't matter how many times your parents told you, "Shut up, we're not giving that to you. We cannot afford it." You keep on asking, "Mama, I want that. Mommy, I want that." Even if you were slapped, still, "Mommy, I want that." Then where is that enthusiasm now? You got to bring it back. It's for you. You got to ask. You got to keep asking. It's your life. And we have one shot at it. We can either waste it or we can cherish it like a woohoo, great deal. It's a choice. Whatever choice you want to make, it's in your hand. Understand that. And kids understand that principle better than anybody else. They keep asking, they keep asking, they keep asking. And remember the quote from the Bible: ask and it shall be given to you. So you got to keep asking. You got to keep asking. And now I am going to share with you the golden strategy you have to use for asking. And if you understand that, you can have a really big difference in your life. Okay. Understand the first rule is that when you ask, when you ask, you have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, man. If you ask, nobody is taking anything from you and going away. Nothing. All the chances are there that you may end up getting something. You may end up getting something. That's the true part. And now this requires a little mindset shift, because most people don't see it from that perspective. They see it from a different perspective. They see it from a perspective that I cannot ask what the other person will think about me. The ego came in. We have to keep it aside. Keep it aside. Even the highly successful people are successful because they're never afraid of asking for help when they need it. And then you have to ask this golden question to yourself. Remember the question, okay? If I don't ask, how much it is costing me? And it is costing you a lot. You know why? All the chances of you getting that thing will vanish. But what if I get it? Now, this is the golden sentence. You may write it on a sticky note and you paste it bang right there in your front door, in your office, in your room. What if I get it? How I will feel? And then get emotionally involved with that idea. Understand that whatever we are doing here, the whole philosophy is based upon actually influencing your subconscious mind. And if you influences your subconscious mind, you may end up getting exactly what you want. And that's what you have to do. You lose nothing by asking, you gain everything by it. We're going to talk a lot more about, in the coming few days about all these ideas that I'm sharing here with you. Now, I want you to think about this ask concept that I share with you. If some of you who has just joined us, guys, if you have missed it, don't worry. The live streaming is on YouTube. You can check it out later. But I have a good news for you. But before I share the good news, I want to ask about you. How many of you actually want to learn how to convert your dreams into realities? Let me know in the chat box. How many of you actually want to convert your dreams into realities? All right. How many of you can type in the chat box? Let's do it in a different way. All right. So there are people who are saying, yes, of course, me, 100%. I want to learn. It's adventure. Absolutely, it is adventure. Let's see how many others are here who absolutely want it. I want to. I have been trying from a long time. If you have been trying from a long time, I can tell you that you're in the right place at the right time. You're in the right place at the right time. Why? Because this is an environment where dreams are built and achieved. And the good news is that this Friday, we are having a big masterclass, and that is the Dream Power Masterclass. It is going to be a 2-hour masterclass starting at 7 p.m. Indian time, ending at 9 p.m. And every single one of you who has signed up for this coaching hour, you will get the email with the link pretty shortly to sign up for this Dream Power Masterclass. Be ready for a ride. Be ready for an adventure. In this masterclass, we are going to talk about how to take out an intangible dream and actually convert it to a reality. And understand that the only medium through which it can be done is you. It's I am. The power of I am. The infinitely abundant human being. Because you are the expression of the divine energy. You're going to learn a lot about great ideas in that awesome Dream Power Masterclass. Exactly the way Chintan said, hold your hat and fasten your seatbelts and get ready to fly. Exactly. Just like the way you see the rainbow right there, your life is going to shine up and light up with the ideas and the concepts we are going to share with you. So be ready and be prepared. And the best part is that it is a free masterclass. So be there this Friday. Skip all other plans. Just stay there from 7 to 9 and get ready for an explosive learning. And now, if you have questions, write those questions in the chat box. I would love to answer your question. And make sure, guys, whenever you attend these sessions, you will receive an email in between to submit your questions, because sometimes we don't have questions at the present moment, but we have during the week. So whenever you have questions, save that link and submit your questions in advance, so that from the next time we can actually sort out those questions. And I'm really thankful to one of my great friends who is on the call right now, who gave me this awesome idea. So now bring on your question that you have. We have few minutes here to actually address your questions. Let me open the whiteboard to actually answer your question. And in the meanwhile, if anyone wants to know more about our company, wants to know more about how what our programs are, how we mentor people, how we coach people, Chintan has just shared a link in the description. You can go to that link and you can sign up for a free strategy session with me. And on that strategy session, I would love to have a conversation with you, and I would love to help you understanding more about you. All right. So if you have questions, simply write it down. If you have no question, you can simply say no more questions. And the meanwhile, I would just love to remind you that keep asking. All right. Somebody said, if someone actually does say no, how do I put my mind back into a positive place moving forward? Understand the new definition of no, Sheena. If somebody say no, that means go to the next opportunity. That's it. If somebody say no, that doesn't mean they have said no to your idea. That doesn't mean they have said no to what you're saying. That absolutely fine even if they say no. Understand that that's not the end of the world. Maybe in that moment it feels like the end of the world, but actually it's not. And then, as I said, wait for the next time repeatedly. If they say no, no problem. In a week or so, ask in a different way. Absolutely, ask in a different way and always move forward. Doesn't matter what other people say. Absolutely right, Kevin. Even Kevin pointed out in the chat box that ask it differently. That's absolutely right. Okay, keep moving. Understand that in your life you're aiming for success, and success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay, so there are going to be times when you're going to get off track. Bring yourself on track, bring yourself on track, on track, off track, on track. The process is keep moving, keep moving. Somebody said, how to deal with repeated failures. One tends to give up after failing again and again. Yes, people tends to give up. Why? Because they don't have substantially planted the goal in their subconscious mind. Now let me tell you what Andrew Carnegie, who was like the forefather of all this information that we are getting here, told Napoleon Hill. He gave a big task to Napoleon Hill. If you don't know that, Andrew Carnegie was one of the first billionaires of that time. He was a steel king, and he was looking for someone who can write a philosophy on success principle. And he commissioned Napoleon Hill. And he said to Napoleon that, Napoleon, the goal I'm giving you right now is a big one. And there are going to be times when your mind is going to tell you over and over again that, Napoleon, you should quit, you should quit, you should quit. But he said the only way you can stop it from happening is by getting so much emotionally connected with your desire. And that is done through a process. It's like planting the goal in your subconscious mind. And how it is done through repetition. And more importantly, the simplest way you can do at that time is ask yourself why I have started. Forget about the failures. In fact, learn from those failures. I have many blunders in my career. There are things that I have done that was absolutely rock bottom. But guess what? My biggest failures have produced the biggest successes for me, because I learned lessons every time. Ask yourself how many failures Thomas Edison has gone through. And he will tell you no one, nothing. Why? He said, I didn't fail. I just discovered the ways that doesn't work. 10,000 times it took him to actually develop the incandescent light. So you just have to build that expectancy. So he actually learned 9,999 times before he succeeded. And to make this process very, you can say that a good one or a happy one, we all must find a mentor, because alone we will give up. Mentorship provides accountability, mentorship provides support, mentorship provides knowledge, information, everything that is required for us to succeed. And if you have felt resonated with the information we have shared here, you may look forward to sign up for a free session. And we would actually love to help you with your goal and your dreams, and we'll see how we can help you. So there is a link above. I guess Chintan will put it again here in the chat box, and you can just go there and check out for the free discovery or a strategy session with us. Thank you so much for pointing out that question. That's a good one, a real good one. Thank you. All right, so the next one is from Prema. Often when I persist and ask repeatedly, I feel that the person may look at me as nuance, your views and advice. Stop thinking that way. Ask in a different way. For example, let me tell you, I have people who sign up for my coaching after years. Couple of them 3 years, couple of them 1 years, couple of them 2 years. But I keep giving them value. So it's not like that you always talk to them about selling or asking. You talk to them as a friend most of the time. Okay, got it? You keep the conversation going, because what happened when somebody say no, we start treating that person in a different way. That's not good. Treat them the genuine way you used to treat them. And whenever you see them in a better mood, whenever you feel more confident, change your perception and ask the same thing in a different way. That's what counts. All right, Prima, I hope you got it. Awesome. Exactly, Kevin. One success is enough to forget 9,999 failures. Indeed, it is. Absolutely, it is. Awesome. So I see that there are a lot of great comments on the YouTube. Thank you so much, guys, for showering your love. That means a lot to me right there. Perfect. Wonderful. All right. Good. Lovely. And if you're on YouTube, guys, make sure that you subscribe us on YouTube. You will get the link in your emails for the replay. We are almost about to reach 500 subscribers. And once we reach that, we will have another giveaway. So do a favor for us, do a little help, and we will give you a great giveaway then in offering. All right. So perfect. Let's move to the next question. If anybody has a question, guys, put it right there, or we will just then sign up for the call for today. If you have a question, type it there. If you have no more questions, simply say no more questions. And in the meanwhile, you will see a lot of links passed on to you in the chat box. And if you feel resonated with any of the links, make sure to save that for the future. We have a free gratitude call going on. There's a link to sign up for a free strategy session with me. So make sure to be aware about those things and actually take benefit of it. All right. All right, guys. So I don't see any more questions, although you will receive an email later on. You can submit your questions for the next call. That is on Thursday. And I'll see you on Thursday, and then you will get the details for the upcoming masterclass. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here. And this is absolutely amazing. See you next time. Till then, take care. Have a wonderful and cheerful life.